Good morning. This is Assemblymember Petrie-Norris. So pleased that you're able to join us for today's virtual pet adoption event. This morning, we're doing something very special. We are welcoming Ashlee from Priceless Pets and spotlighting the work of animal rescue organizations in the district in the midst of this pandemic. We'll also be introducing you to some furry friends who are up for adoption today. Ashlee, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us. We're super excited to do this.
Well, and as I said to you right before we started going live, I am the mama of a rescue dog myself. So these little guys have a place that's near and dear in my heart, and can't wait to meet some of the little cats and dogs you've got up for adoption today. So before we jump into that, Ashlee, can you just introduce yourself to the folks at home and give us a little overview of the work that you do at Priceless Pets?
Yeah, so of course, my name, like you said, is Ashlee. I've been with Priceless Pets for a long time now. I am in charge of marketing, PR. I've also worked at adoption centers before. I just transferred over and helped with a new project that we're launching. So I do a lot. I'm kind of like a utility player, I guess you'd say, for Priceless Pets, but my heart is truly adoptions as well as spaying and neutering. Priceless Pets is a nonprofit animal shelter. We have 3 locations, one in Chino Hills, one in Claremont, one in Costa Mesa. Those locations are storefront adoption centers. And then we also have foster families that care for our animals. So we just love our adoption centers because people can actually come there and adopt our animals, not just straight foster based. So it's really awesome to have those brick and mortar locations.
Well, and I know that you're a no-kill shelter. So can you just, explain what that means?
Yeah, so no kill means that we will not euthanize animals. So you know how, there are some city shelters or county shelters that unfortunately have to euthanize for space, or if new animals are coming in, or if there's a cruelty or neglect case, they just bring them in and unfortunately have to sometimes euthanize animals. We don't do that. We never will euthanize a healthy, treatable, adoptable animal unless there is an underlying medical condition. And unfortunately we have to, humanely, but otherwise, no, we never euthanize adoptable animals.
That's great. That's great. Love that. And what is a typical day like for your shelter? How many animals are coming in? How many animals are getting adopted?
Yeah, it kind of just depends on the day. Tomorrow is our insane day. So usually Monday, Tuesday, we prep for Wednesday. Okay. Because we've kind of been closed since Sunday. We are closed Monday, Tuesday. When we first open on Wednesday, it is just a madhouse. We have generally the way that we obtain animals is we rescue them from high kill shelters. So some shelters in our area that we work with, we take in owner surrenders on a case by case basis. So if for any reason, an owner is no longer able to keep their pet, we take them into our facility. So we schedule those regularly throughout the week as well. And then we also, take in animals just from various circumstances. We have transports from back east. We have transports from Mexico. We have transports from all over, and they bring us animals where we can, get them healthy here and adopt them out. But yeah, a typical Wednesday or a typical any day at the shelter just kind of looks like a lot of cleaning, and more cleaning, walking the animals, caring for them, loving on them, socializing them. We do some really awesome activities with like hiking and walking, and then just finding them their forever homes. People come into our facilities looking to adopt. We facilitate the adoption same day at our adoption center. They take the pet home and then they live happily ever after.
I love the work that you do. And how many pets do you have right now that are up for adoption?
That depends. I didn't check right off the bat for today, but generally within our organization at any given time, we have anywhere about 100 available animals for adoption. Okay. We have anywhere from 100 to 300 animals in our custody, whether that be in a foster home, getting medical care, becoming old enough to be adopted, just receiving socialization that maybe aren't available yet. But generally, at any given time, we have about 100 animals available for adoption.
How has the COVID-19 pandemic changed the way that your shelter operates, the way that you're interacting with prospective adoptees? What's it like right now?
Well, I'll start with the positives. The positives are that we have so many people who are interested in adopting, which is really amazing. I think a lot of people realize, their travel plans were canceled, work's canceled, school's canceled, life's canceled. Why not bring a dog home and introduce them to your family at that time, which we feel is truly the best time. They have all this love and care and time to dedicate as a family to that pet. So we've found that we've just had so many adoptions, which is really amazing. We've also had a lot of people who are interested in fostering. So maybe they aren't quite ready to commit to an animal for 10, 15 years, but they're willing to commit, for a couple months. And so we've sent a lot of our animals that weren't doing so well at the shelter into foster, a lot of underage animals, a lot of animals we've been able to rescue straight out of the shelter and go right into a foster home just because of this pandemic. So those are the positives. Negatives would be our adoptions are very down because we don't have individuals just stopping by our adoption center where it'd be like a Wednesday afternoon fun activity, just stop in. That's when we got a lot of donations as far as like paper towels, supplies, things like that. So those donations are down. Of course, everyone's very worried about the financial aspect that this is going to have on us long term. So monetarily, our donations are down. And yeah, that's how it's just affected us negatively. But on the positive, animals being saved is really awesome. But our donations team has had to work extra hard to try and, figure out what we're going to do to make up that deficit. And then all of our events are canceled. So we primarily fundraise through events. We'd raise almost $100,000 a year in just events alone, and all of those have been canceled. So that has been a huge burden for our organization, but we're powering through. We're very thankful for everyone who supports us, and we'll make it. Everything will be fine.
And so what's the best way right now that the public or folks listening at home can support Priceless Pets and other shelters in the area?
Yeah, other shelters in the area, Priceless Pets, anyone. Monetary donations, of course. I always hate asking for money, but it is just something that's so necessary. Unfortunately, these animals don't have any medical care. They don't have any, good nutrients, any good food. We have to purchase all of that as an organization. So, if you have a pet at home, it's a little bit pricey. So we have that burden. And then also just everyone's spring cleaning right now because also they have nothing to do. So we love old towels, old blankets, old collars, any old pet stuff that you have at home because, you're just cleaning out that one drawer that you really never touched and now's the time. We love all the old stuff. So we have gotten a lot of supply donations in that capacity, which we're very thankful for.
And are there still opportunities for folks to volunteer in kind of a socially distant way? Is that an option?
Yeah. So our location has a Sunday hike. We've started doing that again. So every Sunday at our Chino Hills location, if they're socially distanced, everyone's required to be socially distanced. They can go on a hike per se with our dogs to get everyone out of the shelter, give our morning cleaners time to just deep clean, and clean some more, move out all those animals. And our Costa Mesa location, one of my favorite locations, is we're so close to the beach. So they could take out a dog for the day and just walk down to the beach. Not too far. We're right next to the harbor, off Newport Boulevard. So they can walk down there. We are allowing volunteers. Of course, masks are required. Of course, social distancing is required. We will not allow more than 10 people in our facility at one time. So we are maintaining all of those guidelines, but we are allowing people to take out animals for the day.
Okay, that's good to know. So if folks aren't able to make kind of the long-term commitment or, maybe not ready to foster, you can still take a dog for a walk and give you all a chance to deep clean the facility. And that's every Sunday, you said that's an opportunity?
We accept volunteers any day of the week. Right now, ironically, at all of our adoption centers, we're in need of morning walkers, cleaners. So that's the 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Cleaning shift. So we are in need of those volunteers at that time.
Okay. And you mentioned that since the start of the pandemic and the announcement of our statewide stay-at-home orders, there's been a real uptick in people looking to adopt, which makes so much sense. I know when our family's been isolated at home and we haven't been able to interact as much with friends or neighbors, being able to play with our dog has been like another buddy for my kids. And then, taking him for a walk, throwing a ball in the park. So it makes so much sense that people are looking to add a little priceless pet as part of their family. So if folks are looking to adopt right now, what should they know?
I think that the only thing is just like around Christmas time when everyone wants to add an animal to their family, it is a lifetime commitment. So our lives are, I'm hoping, going to go back to normal, which is going to mean us not getting to work from home. It's going to mean long hours away. So I really encourage people to take this time to train their animals, not just bring a new animal home and love it and spoil it, but truly get that fundamental training down. That way, when our lives do resume back to normal, you have a little bit of foundation. And I mean, I just think it's really amazing that everyone wants to bring home animals. I mean, yeah, I think it's super great. And like you said, they provide us so much love and happiness. And there's so many studies that show that us being around animals really just makes us happier. Like it was a really tough time when, you know, especially as Americans, we're so connected with others. We're always in the community. We are doing things together all the time. And for everything to be taken from us so fast, I think a lot of us did lean into our animals. And without them, I mean, I don't know what I would have done. I love my fur kids.
Well, and I know when I first started, so I first started going back to session in Sacramento on May 4th. It was really early still in our shelter at home order. And you know, I was essentially there by myself, even though I had kind of, you know, one session a day where I was in person for the most part. I was still just on Zoom with my colleagues. And so I started to bring my dog Flounder came with me. So he was my designated staffer for a couple months there when we were first transitioning back to session and back to our business in Sacramento. So I know this is kind of like what I've been waiting for. I know that you want to introduce us to some of the furry friends you have who are looking for their forever homes.
Yes, I do. So let me go grab. I didn't have them in
Okay.
here. I'm gonna hold cats and stuff. Let me go grab them. I'll be right back. Hold on just 1 second. Okay. So our first little babe is Coco. This sweet girl was rescued from the shelter. She's been in foster for quite a while we nursed her back to health. Unfortunately, it's kitten season, which is like a whole nother Zoom chat on that whole problem. But basically, she has been in foster care. She is old enough now to get spayed. And then once she gets spayed, then she'll go back into foster care to recover for a little bit. And then she'll be available for adoption. So she's not quite available yet. She will be, though, in the next couple weeks. But she's really cute. She's a little calico.
So sweet. And so, sorry, how old did you say? How old is she?
We fix them at about 8 to 10 weeks. So she's around there. It's hard to guess. But yeah, she's about 8 to 10 weeks. And then she'll be spayed. She'll get her microchip. She'll get all of her vaccines. And then she'll be able to find her forever home. We don't let them go home until all that's completed.
And so you said it's kitten season. So tell us what is that? What's kitten season?
So kitten season is the product of so many cats that are out in the community that are not spayed or neutered. So yeah, basically it's that time of year. It's warmer. We're in Southern California, so never really gets cold here. So but the kitten season is like right before summer. So I mean, I know it's already in summer, but it's where it's not super hot yet. Usually it dies down about August, September. But basically just a bunch of feral cats that have kittens. They come into our program. We care for them. And yeah, we do work very hard at stopping the overpopulation problem, which is out in the community. By spaying and neutering all outdoor cats, even if they're not your cats, just spay or neuter them, ear tip them, put them back out. That way we don't have so many cats. Like, I mean, I know Coco's cute and all, but so many that don't make it out.
Right, and can't find their home. All right.
Okay. And this babe right here is actually already adopted. But it's here at our vet clinic today for a little checkup. So I wanted to feature her. She's a senior girl. So that's why I wanted to feature her most importantly, because the seniors have such a hard time finding forever homes. A lot of people feel that they won't take home seniors because the medical issues, or they're not going to get a long enough life, or whatever the reason might be. Senior animals sit in the shelter for so long, and it's really, really heartbreaking. everyone wants a cute little puppy or a cute little kitten, but the seniors, like I'm biased, I only adopt seniors, so they're the best. They're usually already trained. They're so thankful. They've been around the block a few times. They know what's up. They know what they like. They know what they don't like. So I'm a huge senior advocate. So this little babe right here was adopted from our organization a while ago. And yeah, like I said, she's back at our clinic right now for a vet checkup.
And what's her name?
Her name is Maxine.
Maxine. And Maxine is a senior. So what does it mean? How old does a dog have to be classified as a senior?
Generally, we classify a senior anything over 7.
Okay.
And then usually, every dog's life's different. They could live to 13 to 14. So you're still getting a good chunk of time when you adopt a senior. But a lot of people just really don't want to make that investment. They really want to get a puppy so they can grow with their family and they could, be with the kids. But honestly, the senior pets, if you have a type of home to be able to adopt a senior pet, it really is the most rewarding.
And do you have anyone else to introduce us to?
Oh, just like cats. It's raining cats today.
Okay.
We're doing a big,
right? Like you said, it's kitten season.
Kitten season. This is Mia. She's a pretty girl. She was rescued from the streets of San Bernardino, just from, same situation like I was talking about earlier, feral cats. She's a really great girl. She has a sister. She loves her sister. They're really good. They're just super cute. They're about the same age.
And what's her name? You said what's her name? Sweet.
Yeah.
Now, Ashlee, are you a cat person or a dog person?
I'm not a cat person. I know I look like it right now, but I'm really not a cat person. I'm a dog person. But I love them all. I think they all need to find their forever homes.
Ashlee, we just have a couple of questions from folks at home. So can you explain vet fees to us? Do you charge discounts? So you mentioned that Maxine was in for a checkup. Do you provide ongoing vet services for your adoptees?
Yeah, so actually Priceless Pets' latest venture is we're in the process of opening up our own vet clinic here in Chino Health. That's actually where I'm at today. So I'm actually not an adoption center. I'm at the vet clinic. Our vet clinic is going to be open to the public and with a huge emphasis on providing vet care for our adopted animals. So as an organization who's adopting out almost 300 animals a month, we really felt that it was time that we were able to offer to our pet parents an alternative to, expensive vet care, because a lot of people who are adopting sometimes just can't afford it. They just want to save a life and they want to do something that's really feels good, but financially they just can't afford the vet bills, which is like sometimes long-term because of their shelter animals. We don't really know their background. So we decided that we were going to open up a vet clinic. So our vet clinic provides care for all of the animals in our care, and then it also provides care for our adopted animals. We do offer a discount. It's kind of on a case-by-case basis, depending on how long they've been adopted, what the circumstances, but we always work with our adopters to make sure that we are providing lower cost vet care for them.
And you mentioned that sometimes people are reticent to adopt maybe older animals because of the potential health risks. Do you recommend that pet insurance, effective pet insurance, helping to cover those potentially unforeseen costs?
That is something that we just started discussing as an organization. We do not exclusively recommend a pet insurance just yet, but we're hoping to be able to recommend one in the future. Right now, just the basic Trupanion or ASPCA pet care is what we'd recommend for now. Right now, we don't exclusively recommend anything. Okay.
Got it. But you do recommend people get some kind of pet insurance.
Yes.
To offset those unforeseen expenses.
Yes. It's always just something, insurance, just like with humans, it's always recommended just because you never know what's going to happen.
And now or is there anyone else you want to introduce us to, or do you want to walk us through the website and show us how to go down, start the adoption process?
Yes. Okay. So let me show you the website. We have Mia here.
If you can.
I'm going to hold her right here. Okay.
Okay.
So let me show you. So if you go to our website, which is pricelesspetrescue.org, At the top, you will see adopt, and then it'll show adoptable dogs, adoptable cats, and other pets. You can click on there and it will bring up all of the available animals that we have currently available for adoption. This list is changing hour by hour, depending on intake or depending on animals we get in. So you could always just check this out, see who's in our care. And then in order to adopt, you just go right in to the pet's profile. You click on apply for adoption. And then a team member will be in contact with you in regards to coming in, when's a good time. All of them are at different locations. So here for Frankie, you could see it says Costa Mesa location. Some of the other ones say Chino Hills, Claremont. It'll just depend on which pet you're interested in. You'll go to that location to adopt. We are open during COVID-19. We are just requiring that we do social distancing. We are requiring, masks. Only one family is being let in at a time for adoption. So we are being extremely safe in that front, but we still are making sure these animals find their forever homes. And then, of course,
and what's the process? So if I apply, if I see a dog or a cat on your website that I really love, and I fill in this initial application, and what's the process from there in terms of evaluating adoptive families, and how long does that usually take?
We do all adoptions in person. So you fill out an application as for preliminary questioning. Then you come into our adoption center. We kind of meet with you. We do a one-on-one appointment to see, if this pet is going to be a good fit for you. If we know Max is not good with kids and you have 3 kids at home, probably not going to be a good fit. So we'll encourage you to maybe check out another dog instead of Max, or try and fit your needs, or maybe in the future have a different pet, or someone that we know of have a different pet. So, we always want you to come in person to do it. Basically, it's just an application. There's a contract. There's an adoption donation, which depends per animal. It's generally around $150. And then you could take the pet home same day. So it's really not extensive application or, home visit type process. We do adoption same day, very similar to a shelter.
And you said that the adoption donation is around $150. Is that what you just said?
Yes, it depends.
And are the animals already kind of spayed and neutered before they come home with people?
Yes, everyone's spayed or neutered, have their rabies vaccines, deworming, all adult vaccines, everything. All their medical is done at the time of adoption.
Great. And so that $150 kind of helps to cover and offset those costs before people take their pets home.
Is just to cover their medical, which is our cost is around $150 to get all of that medical taken care of for each animal.
And are there any other, we started to talk a little bit about some of the things that are important to ensure that people build with their new pet and ensure that it does become their forever home. Are there any other tips that you would like to share with new or prospective adoptive parents?
I just really recommend a good training class. Depending on where you live, you could just do a quick Google search, and we also have a list of trainers we recommend, but a good training class really goes a long way to make sure that pet is in a forever home. Generally, you don't see a dog or cat's true behavior for about 6 months. And that's about the time when we see a lot of returns, or we see like, what have I done? I shouldn't have adopted. And we just recommend that you kind of nip that in the bud and you get in on a training class right away. That way you have, a pet that fits into your family for forever, which is really what we're looking for. And especially with puppies, start that training right away. Do not wait on a puppy. That bad behavior starts as early as 10 weeks. So you want to make sure you're getting in the fundamentals right away, not over spoiling your new babe, and making sure you're setting some rules and some guidelines and things like that.
Right. Establishing good lifelong habits. It's like with kids, right? You got to start early and be consistent.
Exactly.
Now, Ashlee, is there anything else you want to show us on the website?
Yes, just one other thing I want to show you is the Get Involved tab. This is where you would go if you were interested in becoming a foster parent or interested in volunteering with our organization. Just right here, there's these different tabs to foster, to volunteer, to donate, and how to educate others about, adoption. So that is a really great resource right on our website that, people can check out.
Great. And if people are thinking about fostering, how long is that commitment
Fostering,
to be a foster parent?
we look for fosters from only 1 week, like a temporary home, to up to, right now we have a dog in foster care that's undergoing heartworm treatment. That'll be about 5 months. So it just, they're all over the place, anything from literally 1 week to 5 months.
Okay, so it can potentially be a pretty short-term commitment for people, and a way to get to know a new animal. And I think, like you said, one of the things that's so great, I think, about organizations like yours that do have this foster model is that it gives your organization a chance to know the animals. So like you said, to know if they're, sweet as can be with maybe older folks, but not good with young children, or maybe they're great with children, but not good with other dogs. You can identify and understand those idiosyncrasies before someone walks into the shelter to adopt the animal.
Exactly.
I think is so important. So critical. Well, thank you. Are there any other pets that we should meet before we wrap up?
That's it. All of our pets can be seen on the website. And like I said, we're getting new pets in daily. And since, we are allowing people to come in and visit with masks, Mia's like, let me out of this Zoom. Allowed to come in. I really recommend just coming in to visit. Like, a lot of people will look on the website and say, no, I don't want a terrier. I don't want a pit bull, or people are very quick to say like what they don't want. Honestly, when you come in and you meet the animal, all of a sudden, like what you see, what their breed is, or what you were looking for, all that you just forget about. Like, it's just their personality. You get to truly meet them, take a walk with them, spend some time with them. And I always say the animal really will pick you. Like, you could have this perfect golden retriever puppy idea in your head. That dog grows up to be a menace. And you're like, I wish I would have adopted that little terrier at the shelter. We hear that story all the time. So I just encourage people right now, everyone's jumping on the bandwagon of, buying puppies or getting the dog they've always dreamed about. I really recommend, just checking out the shelter first, seeing if someone catches your eye, just stop in. It's.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think that there is, nothing compares with like a little rescue pet. And I think like you said, they are so grateful. They're so grateful, so appreciative. And so it's not just that you're doing something great for this animal, but you're also doing something great for yourself and for your family. Well, thank you again for joining us, and thank you for everything that you and Priceless Pets are doing. Look forward to meeting more of your furry friends in the future, and hearing more about the work that you're doing in the weeks and months ahead. So with that, we'll sign off. And if anyone is interested in finding out more about Priceless Pets, just remind us again, what's your website address?
It's pricelesspetrescue.org. And then we're also on Instagram, Priceless Pet Rescue, and we're on Facebook, Priceless Pet Rescue.
Okay, pricelesspetrescue.org. Thank you, Ashlee. Thanks everyone at home for joining us. Take care, be safe, and be well.